500,000 foreclosures across the state. And one of the reasons is foreclosures is driving the money that the state goes really down. Now, there's a proposed ballot initiative and a state move in the legislature to legalize something we've all talked about for many years, marijuana, both for legal reasons and to raise money for the state. State Assemblyman Tom Ammiano of San Francisco is a supporter of these proposals, and he's here to talk a little bit about the issue. Tom, first of all, what is the overall idea? We've gone from illegal marijuana to decriminalized. What would this do?
This would also allow the state government to regulate it and then to tax it. Right now, there's a $14 billion marijuana industry in California alone. Betty Yee from the Department of the Board of Equalization, estimates about $2 billion in taxes could be garnered, excise taxes, sales taxes. That doesn't even include the money that might be saved from law enforcement not doing misdemeanors and also people being incarcerated, for misdemeanors with pot. So all over, it's a combination of the war on drugs has failed. Why don't we do something that's more effective about it? And number two, why don't we look at this as a way to help with the state's revenues because we're in such dire shape?
Okay, in our movement towards marijuana, first of all, it was flat out illegal, then it became decriminalized. As it stands right now, are we really trying to do anything about marijuana one way or the other? We have medical marijuana. Isn't it virtually legal now?
Yeah, of course, there's no revenue from it. I mean, it all goes to the crooks. So, and, there's no more hippie little gardener anymore. These are cartels. They're very, very dangerous. And I know that actually some police enforcement organizations support the decriminalization. It's kind of a mixed bag with law enforcement. Conversation is happening nationally. This is bigger than me, even bigger than California. Obama's messaging, through Holder, no more raids of dispensaries. So I think that California, with my bill, could be out of the gate early and on this issue.
Now, we have another issue here. It's the health issue and the mental health issue. If marijuana is illegal, that's one thing. If it's decriminalized, it goes into sort of a gray area where it's don't ask, don't tell, and we won't bust. What you're proposing, though, is to legalize it and for the state to make money on it. Won't that then just encourage more use? You'll actually have companies out there growing it, promoting it, putting out ads, smoke it?
I think it'd be dwarfed by the present situation. I mean, $14 billion is a lot of money. Somebody's making it. It ain't California. And a lot of it is attached to violence, et cetera. So if it's regulated, even if there's a lot of competition around it, at least there'll be laws to determine that it's sold, legally, not to kids under 21, not to someone who's driving. So you're going to benefit that way. The situation is not a pleasant one for people to know that this industry exists, but at the same time, the wink, wink, nod has only made it worse. So let's do something about it.
Now, if you proposed this a couple of years ago, we would have said, well, that's just another San Francisco whack idea.
Yeah.
But the governor has actually said it may be time to have a discussion about this. He's not supporting it, but he says it's time to talk about it.
Which is really an opening and realistic. I got to hand it to him because you will find on the conservative side, people like Milton Friedman, The Economist, The Wall Street Journal, they're all saying to go this route. So this issue is falling, rather spread out over the political spectrum, which I also find fascinating.
Okay, a little more immediate to bring it down,
yeah.
The state budget.
Yeah.
We're being told by the treasurer and the governor again that California is going off the cliff. What is going on in Sacramento?
Well, there's this tension between what the governor wants and with the Mr. Steinberg in the Senate and Ms. Bass in the Assembly. And the deal is, I think these are all preliminary noises that people make before they sit down and try to negotiate. I'm never going to do this. I'm going to revoke your borrowing thing. So it kind of sets, remember the shape of the table with Vietnam. So I think that's happening now. We got the conference committee going. They've been clear about what they might accept or not accept. There are some majority votes that could be taken to
raise
revenue. Right, and then down the road, if we're looking at later this year, there is that possibility of the marijuana legalization, and there's also the idea of looking at a split roll, which is a way to reform Prop 13. So, and then in the meantime, people are talking about reform, two-thirds budget being changed, all that good stuff.
Real quick, do you think there will be a move this year, a serious move in Sacramento to reform Proposition 13.
I think so, yes. I think that, but we have to go to the ballot, remember. But you can do things legislatively, and we're talking about the split roll.
Where corporations would pay one and residential would pay another.
Right, it wouldn't affect anybody who is now on benefits from Prop 13. It would just close that loophole. Even my good friend Quentin Kopp supported that years ago, so you see he had some vision about it.
Oh,
all right, Quentin.
And thanks for stopping by
rail.
this morning.
Thank
High-speed rail, marijuana, split tax. Quite a news morning. Thank you, Tom. Back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Bill.